They say at 3:33 in the morning, the veil between worlds becomes thin. Time freezes, and the unseen dares to look back at us. Is it just a coincidence, or is it something more? Carlos was sleeping soundly next to his wife when something violently pulled him out of his dreams. He glanced at the clock. It read 3:33. His body was soaked in cold sweat, as if he'd just run a marathon in the pouring rain. A strange feeling of dread washed over him. Outside, dogs began to bark wildly, their cries echoing through the silent neighborhood. And at that exact moment, a car alarm started blaring, cutting through the night like a scream. For a few unnerving seconds, he felt an intense presence, as if something was watching him from the corner of his room. He turned his head toward the window, and for a split second, he saw a shadow flash by. A chill ran down his spine. The strangest part? His wife never even stirred. Not every awakening, it seems, comes from the living. Our next story comes from a man who had a particularly exhausting day. That night, he came home late, exhausted from work. He didn't even bother turning on the lights. He just stumbled into his dark room and collapsed onto his bed. He closed his eyes, desperate for sleep. Then it happened. Two ice-cold hands suddenly grabbed his face, their grip firm and unsettling. A distorted female whisper echoed in his ear. "Did you just get home?" His eyes shot open. Inches from his face was a pale, almost skull-like visage, its features twisted and horrifying. He let out a blood-curdling scream, scrambling backward, but the room was empty. He was completely alone. Minutes later, his sister found him huddled in a corner, shaking uncontrollably, swearing that someone had just touched him. Sometimes the shadows ask, just to know you're still alive. In his dream, a woman appeared, a dark silhouette standing behind him, her arms, unnaturally long and slender, wrapped around him from behind. Her hands felt cold, her grip tightening with each passing second until he could barely breathe. A faint, distorted whisper called his name over and over while the sound of a frantic heartbeat pounded in his ears. Terrified, he cursed at her, demanding to be released, and just like that, she vanished. He woke up with a gasp, tears streaming down his face. His body still feeling the phantom weight of her suffocating embrace, he looked at his clock. Of course, it was 3:33 a.m. Some nightmares, you see, leave scars that are invisible to the naked eye. So what is it about this specific time? 3:33 a.m. has long been known as the witching hour or the mirror hour. Many believe it as a moment when the energy flows freely between the physical and the spiritual world. But perhaps what reaches out to us in the deep quiet of the night isn't necessarily evil. Maybe it just wants to remind us of a simple, profound truth, that we are still here, we are still alive. Between the realms of sleep and wakefulness, perhaps we all visit other worlds. Have you ever woken up at 3:33 a.m.? What did you experience? Share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. And if you enjoy real stories that challenge logic and awaken the soul, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.